What's going on, everyone? Good to see you all again. My name is Joe Law, former drummer of Trip the Switch and Space Peanuts, former lead singer of Silence Betrayed and Media Solution, current singer, songwriter, kiddie pool filler-upper. If you hear a small hiss in the background of this video, that is the hose in the backyard filling up my kid's inflatable pool. Just the inflatable $15 Target kind used from last year. Still good. Only got one hole, but it's patched. It's pretty hot. I do live in beautiful Southern California, and it's about in the 90s today. So we got that going for the kids in the backyard, and I do this video series from my garage, so the water system's all connected. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Songs and Stories video series that I'm doing. Today we're going to do one of my favorite original songs. It was written about 8 years ago, right about the time when my group that most of you know me from, Silence Betrayed, we'd all kind of disbanded right around the 2012 time frame. And I had been sitting on this first chorus, kind of chord progression riff, and just kind of didn't really have, I guess, the creative capacity to finish it. Being in a band is very demanding, and you kind of don't even realize how much of your creative energy goes to that one thing that you're really trying hard to keep rehearsing and keep your chops up for the next show or the next recording session with that band, that sometimes when you're trying to just, screw around with little, riffs and things that you have in your head, they don't get the full attention. And there are a lot of artists that can do both, and I commend those that do that, because it is very difficult to do. But I was able to kind of get a little time with it once 2012 hit, and we kind of moved on from the band and finished it. Felt super proud of what I had done. Wrote it on acoustic. But fast forward a few months, and I was working, my full-time job was at the Art Institute of California, San Diego, which is, for those who don't know, it was a creative arts college. Apparently they have shuttered up their doors as of last year, I think, which is unfortunate. But really bitching school, mainly because they had a kick-ass studio in the secondary building of this particular campus that I worked at. I worked in the bookstore, basically selling textbooks to students and other art supplies, but came across and met a lot of really cool cats by working in that bookstore. And a lot of those people, if not all, are still, we're still friends today and in different capacities. And I ended up taking classes there, and when you're taking classes, I'm a music guy, and they had a recording program, so you get to use from time to time this huge, awesome, state-of-the-art studio. And I can't remember what project it was, but basically we had a couple songs that we were going to do for some class, some final, some project. And we had a song that my very good friend Mike Boyer, he kind of came up with the instrumental industrial backing sampler track to it, and it was sounding really cool. So we took that one in, and we also took this song that I wrote about a year prior at that time, All the Voices, which I'd written acoustically, but I said, you know what, we got this bitch in studio with all this gear and all this equipment, let's do it up big. Let's do huge guitars, let's put walls up, let's do drums, let's do the whole thing. We had all the equipment to do it. And a big shout out goes to my good friend Mike Marinelli. He was the one that pretty much drove the train on that one, and sat behind the board, got good takes out of us, eventually mixed the whole thing down. And I've got the recording still and hang on to it, and always like to pop it in every once in a while. But yeah, it was just a really, really cool kind of experience, seeing it go from sitting in my room, while I was still working with Silence Betrayed, just, oh man, I know there's something here, and I know there's just a bookend that's needed. I can't think of the bookend right now, the way to wrap it up and put a bow on it. We moved on from the band. I was able to kind of clear my head and really just, oh, that's what it needs, and finished it on acoustic, got the golden opportunity to put it down in a grown man studio, and just absolutely have hung on to it ever since. Obviously, it's what you do with all songs that you're proud of. And I've played it at a couple of little acoustic gigs and those kinds of things, and played it for friends and stuff. And it always seems to do well. It ages well. So it's a little bit more of a strummy track. It's not so open and I guess singer-songwriter-ish. But anyways, it's one that I really like. I always think about that period of time where I was moving on from one band to eventually another, but in that middle time frame I was still creating, I was still writing, and fortunately for me I was able to capture it and track it in a pro studio. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. But of course, beer of the day is a great one. It's a big one, but the brand and the flavor is great. It's the Garage Brewing Company. They are based here in our beautiful town of Temecula, California. This is the Mango Hef. It just tastes delicious, about 5.5%, and just a pretty good overall beer here. So nice fruity beer for a hot day. All right, let's give this song a little rundown here. Again, this is an original, and this one is called All the Voices. Watch it all go up in flames. Seem at odds, but still the same. Is that the hand you're trying for? Make up your mind before I lose control. Was it my own fantasy? Did you keep yourself at bay? All the voices in my head could not say. You'll discover in due time what is yours is also mine. All the voices in your head tell lean lies, taking sides and taking names. Battles in this world we made. I guess sometimes it just gets old, but I can't leave you out there in the cold. Yeah, was it my own fantasy? Did you keep yourself at bay? All the voices in your head could not say. You'll discover in due time what is yours is also mine. All the voices in my head tell lean lies. Was it my own fantasy? Did you keep yourself at bay? All the voices in my head could not say. You'll discover in due time what is yours is also mine. All the voices in your head tell lean lies, and the telling lies. The telling lies. All right, that's a fun little one. I always enjoy playing that one. So probably mix it up. Next episode, we'll probably do another cover. I'll think of something this week. But as always, drop in your feedback. Leave some comments for me. Tell some friends about it if they're bored and they're looking for a new musical kind of an output thing. Go check out the Post Malone Nirvana thing. I saw that yesterday, and that was pretty cool. Just another way of people getting creative in their own homes, and it's just cool to see it, raising a bunch of money and all that. So that was cool. But yeah, just keep posting the comments and the feedback, and I'll keep sitting here as long as the weather doesn't get too hot. I might have to switch my studio, my shooting area, but yeah, keep it coming, and I will see you guys on the next episode.